Recording in progress.
तो मैम ने बिल्कुल सही उत्तर दिया है। इसके अलावा एक और चीज आपको ऑब्जर्व करनी है। अच्छा, एक और क्वेश्चन है, कभी आपने एक छोटे बच्चे को ऑब्जर्व किया है क्या? हाँ, वो किस आकृति में लेटता है, बैठता है, या उसकी हस्त मुद्राएं क्या रहती हैं? हाँ, और कुछ? हाँ, शशांक आसन, शवासन, और कुछ? अच्छा ठीक है। अगर हम एक छोटे बच्चे को देखते हैं, छोटा बच्चा मतलब नवजात शिशु जिसका कुछ दिन पहले ही जन्म हुआ है, तो वो प्रायः एक ही मुद्रा में रहता है। अंगूठे को अंदर रखते हुए वो अपनी सारी उंगलियों को बंद करके रखता है। इसे हम योग में आदि मुद्रा के नाम से जानते हैं। ये योग का ही एक भाग है जो एक छोटा बच्चा कंटिन्यूअसली करता रहता है। इस मुद्रा को अगर हम ध्यान से देखें तो हम अपने अंगूठों के कुछ पॉइंट्स को प्रेस करते हैं। ये जो पॉइंट्स है इसे हम एक्यूप्रेशर पॉइंट्स के नाम से भी जानते हैं। और मेनली यहाँ पे जो पॉइंट्स रहते हैं अंगूठे के बगल में, ये हमारी स्पाइनल नर्व से कनेक्टेड होते हैं। स्पाइनल नर्व हमारे ऑटोनॉमिक या नर्वस सिस्टम का एक मेन पार्ट होता है। नर्वस सिस्टम इज द वन व्हिच बैलेंस आवर होल बॉडी। तो जब भी हम ये मुद्रा का अभ्यास करते हैं तो हम अपनी सारे शरीर की गतिविधियों को समता में लाते हैं, पूरी फिजिकल फंक्शन को बैलेंस करते हैं। तो अभी जैसे हमने एक छोटे बच्चे को देखा, वो लगातार योगा, नवजात शिशु में जब बच्चा माँ के गर्भ में रहता है तो भी कुछ कुछ समय पे वो अपनी शारीरिक आकृतियों को बदलता है, मुद्राओं को बदलता है। तो हम योग का अभ्यास इसलिए करते हैं ताकि हम अपनी प्रकृति से, स्वयं की प्रकृति से जुड़े रहें, जिससे हमारा शारीरिक और मानसिक विकास हो, हम दोनों रूप से स्वस्थ रहें। ठीक है, एवरीवन इज सेटिस्फाइड? सही था ना आंसर? हाँ, तो अभी हम कुछ सूक्ष्म व्यायाम का अभ्यास करेंगे। सभी आराम से अपनी अपनी कुर्सियों पर बैठ जाएं। हाथ की हथेली आपकी जंघाओं पर, आसमान की ओर, पीठ सीधी, गर्दन सीधी, आंखें बंद। एक गहरी श्वास अंदर, धीरे धीरे श्वास को बाहर जाने दें। अपने श्वास प्रश्वास का अनुभव करें। ऑब्जर्व योर ब्रेथ्स। Take a deep breath in, breathe out. We'll chant Om for one time. Breathe in. Om. विश्राम। एक गहरी श्वास सजगता के साथ अंदर, धीरे धीरे बाहर। आराम से आंखें खोल सकते हैं। अभी हम अपने दोनों हाथों से ऐसे अंगूठे को बाहर निकाल कर रखेंगे और उंगलियां सारी ऐसे मोड़ी हुई, हाँ थम्स अप दिखाते हैं ना वैसे, और इसके सहारे अपने अंगूठे से कान को दबाएंगे, पूरा ऊपर से लेकर नीचे तक ईयर लाइन को प्रेस करना है। दोनों हाथ से करेंगे। मेरे एक हाथ में माइक है इसलिए आई एम यूजिंग जस्ट वन हैंड। थोड़ा हाथ को कान के ऊपर ले जाएं और उसे ऊपर की ओर खींचे, थोड़ा और ऊपर। कम टू द सेंटर ऑफ योर ईयर Again, stretch it outward. Relax. पिना के पास आ जाएंगे कान के नीचे और उसे नीचे की ओर खींचे, थोड़ा और नीचे. ये हमारे ऑक्यूलर पॉइंट्स होते हैं, ऑरिक्यूलर पॉइंट्स होते हैं. हमारे कान में जो भी पॉइंट्स होते हैं, कंटिन्यू प्रेसिंग योर ईयर्स. हमारे कान पर जो भी एक्यूप्रेशर पॉइंट्स होते हैं वो हमारे बॉडी में डिफरेंट ऑर्गन से रिलेटेड होते हैं. तो जब भी हम इस पार्ट को ऐसे प्रेस करें तो अपने डिफरेंट ऑर्गन्स को स्टिमुलेट कर रहे होते हैं. एंड रिलैक्स. हैंड्स ऑन योर थाइज, फेसिंग द थाई. नेक बेंडिंग करेंगे. एज यू ब्रीथ इन, स्लोली टेक योर नेक अप. As you breathe out, slowly take your neck down, touch your chin to the chest. Breathe in, up. Breathe out, down. Breathe in, up. Breathe out, down. Hold it. Take a little breath in and breathe out fully. Press your chin on the chest. Hold your breath outside. Keep on holding your breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Very slowly breathe in and neck in the center. Relax. अभी अपने दोनों हाथों को कुर्सियों के हाथ पर रख देंगे. चेस्ट एक्सपेंशन की प्रैक्टिस करेंगे. श्वास भरते हुए हमें अपने मिडिल बैक को आगे की ओर पुश करना है. कंधों को पीछे ले जाएंगे और थोड़ा ऊपर की ओर देखेंगे. अच्छे से मिडिल बैक को स्ट्रेच करेंगे. श्वास छोड़ते हुए छाती को भीतर की ओर खींचेंगे. ठुड्डी को सीने से लगाएंगे और कंधे को आगे खींचेंगे. Breathe in, look up, push your middle back outward, expand your chest. Breathe out, contract your chest, chin on your chest. One more time, breathe in, look up, expand your chest. Breathe out, chin in the chest. This time, as you breathe in, relax yourself. Now, slowly raise your right hand up. Touch your ears with your hands. दोनों हाथ को ऊपर उठाना है. As you breathe in, stretch your right hand up. Left hand will be on a relaxed position. Just stretch your right hand up. थोड़ा ऊपर. Relax your right hand. Now stretch your left hand. थोड़ा सा और स्ट्रेच करेंगे. Relax the left one, stretch the right one. Right hand up, थोड़ा सा और ऊपर. अच्छा, कुछ लोगों के हाथ कान से लग ही नहीं पाते हैं. पता नहीं लगा नहीं रहे हैं या हो नहीं पा रहा है. थोड़ा और ऊपर. Change left and relax. Slowly take your hands down. अभी जिसने चप्पल जूते पहने हैं वो निकाल सकते हैं. और अपने पैर को थोड़ा सा आगे की ओर उठाएंगे. जितनी जगह है बस उतना ही. और अपने पैर की उंगलियों को आगे पीछे करेंगे. जब भी हम एक्यूप्रेशर पॉइंट्स देखते हैं तो हमारे पाम्स में और फुट में हमारी बॉडी से रिलेटेड सारे पॉइंट्स उपलब्ध होते हैं. अच्छे से आगे और पीछे करें. चेंज. अभी उंगलियों को ढीला छोड़ देंगे. पांव के पंजे को आगे की तरफ खींचे. थोड़ा और आगे. कंटिन्यू ब्रीदिंग इन एंड कंटिन्यू ब्रीदिंग. Breathe out and slowly take your toes towards your body. थोड़ा और पीछे लेकर आएंगे. इतना अच्छे से स्ट्रेच करेंगे कि आपकी calves भी स्ट्रेच हो जाएं. Breathe in outward. Hold. Breath को होल्ड करके रखेंगे. पांव के पंजे को और आगे पुश करें. Continuous pressure. Breathe out back. One last time. Breathe in out. Breathe out, toes towards your body, and relax. Relax. अभी यहाँ से अपने घुटने को बिना, जैसे हमारे घुटने 90 डिग्री के एंगल में है, उस एंगल को मेंटेन रखते हुए श्वास भरेंगे और राइट लेग को हल्का ऊपर उठाएंगे। हाँ, जिन्होंने साड़ी पहनी है वो भी कर सकते हैं, थोड़ा ऊपर श्वास छोड़ते हुए नीचे, श्वास भरें ऊपर, श्वास छोड़ें नीचे। One more time, breathe in up, breathe out, down, change the leg, left leg up, breathe with breath, breathe out, down, breathe in up, breathe out, down, breathe in up, breathe out, down, and relax. Close your eyes. Again, take your attention to your breath. The long and deep breath in, breathe in a little more and hold your breath inside. Keep on holding your breath and feel the pressure in your lungs. Hold. Very slowly breathe out. And again, hold your breath. Breathe out fully and hold your breath. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Observe the changes in your body. Observe all the 3 fingers are straight. Right hand in Nasa, index finger and middle finger in your eyebrow center, thumb on your right nostril, remaining 2 fingers on your left nostril. Breathe in from both the nostrils and very slowly breathe out from the both. With thumb, close your right nostril. Inhale from left. Little more breath in. Slowly close the left one and breathe out from right. Breathe in from right. Breathe out through left. This is 1 round of Nadi Shodhan. Like this, we will continue for another 5 rounds. नियंत्रित श्वासों के साथ नाड़ी शोधन का अभ्यास करेंगे। जितना गहरी श्वास भर सकते हैं उतनी गहरी श्वास अंदर ले जाएं और पूरी समता और नियंत्रण के साथ श्वास को बाहर छोड़ें। ध्यान दें, आपकी श्वास लेने की अवधि से अधिक श्वास छोड़ने की अवधि हो। Length of your exhalation should be more than the length of your inhalation. Relax after completing the 5th round of Nadi Shodhan. दोनों हाथ की हथेलियां घुटने पर आसमान की ओर। वापस से ध्यान सामान्य रूप से चल रही श्वासों पर। हम ये छोटे छोटे अभ्यास करके शरीर के हर ऑर्गन को सिमुलेट करते हैं। प्रभाव शरीर के प्रत्येक भाग पर जाता है। जब भी हम उनका अभ्यास प्रतिदिन करते हैं पूरे अनुशासन के साथ, तो ये हमारे शरीर को स्वयं ही ठीक करने में सहायक होता है. इट हेल्प्स अस आवर बॉडी टू हील इटसेल्फ. रिलैक्स.
Let us sit comfortably and easily. Keep our spine erect, बैक की हड्डी सीधा रखें, कंधों को ढीला छोड़ दें और आंखें बंद कर लीजिएगा. एक गहरी सांस लीजिए और सांस को रोकिए और रोकना छोड़ दें, सांस अपने आप बाहर निकलने दें. और अपने आप सांस फिर भरने लगेगा, भरने दीजिए. सांस पूरी तरह से भरने के बाद रोकिए. जब सांस रोकते हैं मन की स्थिति देख लीजिएगा. और रोकना धीरे धीरे छोड़िए और सांस अपने आप बाहर आने लग जाएगी. फिर एक बार सांस लेंगे. सांस पूरा भरने के बाद रोकेंगे. रोककर अपना मन की स्थिति पर ध्यान देंगे. सब थम सा गया है, सब रुक गया है. सांस रुकते ही मन भी रुक जाता है. और ज़्यादा रोक नहीं पाएंगे तो आप रोकना बंद कर दीजिए. सांस अपने आप बाहर आने लगेगा. अब शरीर को सुकून मिल रहा है, विश्राम मिल रहा है. इस वक्त उस पर भी ध्यान दें. मन ही मन अपना शरीर के प्रति सम्मान का भाव रखें. अरबों खरबों अणु परमाणुओं से बना है आपका शरीर. यह शरीर हमारे लिए मिला हुआ एक अद्भुत देन है. Honor your own body. Your body is the most precious gift to you from nature. The millions and trillions of cells in your body. Now become aware of the air all around you and inside of you. The second dimension, the breath. It is the breath that is keeping us alive. ये सांस ही हमारा साथी रही है जब से हम आए दुनिया में और आखिरी क्षण तक सांस हमारे साथ रहेगी. ये जीवन का साथी है सांस. जैसे जल में मछली, ऐसे हवा में हम हैं. भीतर और बाहर की हवा को एक साथ महसूस करें. Feel the air inside and outside of you simultaneously. Now breathe in with a smile and breathe out with a smile. As you smile, all the muscles in your face and in the brain gets deep relaxation. अब तीसरे आयाम पर चलते हैं, मन, जिसमें विचार घूमते हैं, जहाँ भावनाएं उठती है, अपना ही मन. Let's move to the third dimension of our mind. Our body is like the wick of a candle. The mind is a glow all around it. शरीर बाती है तो मन ज्योति है. मन एक बादल जैसे शरीर के चारों ओर भीतर बाहर मंडराता है. आप मन ही हो. Our body is inside the mind. Rather, body is inside of you. As you relax, the mind expands. And as the mind expands, your body relaxes. Let's take a deep breath in, and as we breathe out, relax even more. मुस्कुराते मुस्कुराते विश्राम करें. जो भी विचार बुरे, सभी विचारों को गले लगा लें. जैसे हर पात्र का अपना महत्व है, मन में हर विचार को भी अपना स्थान है. सब विचारों को गले लगा ले. You are much bigger than all these thoughts that hover around in the mind. A deep breath in and breathe out. सांस लीजिए और छोड़ें. कंधों को और ढीला छोड़ दें. Become aware of the vast sky. विशाल गगन का स्मरण करें. हमारी चेतना ऐसा ही है, आकाश जैसे विशाल. You are like the blue sky, unaffected, untainted. Repose in yourself. Let go of all the tensions, all the worries. Repose in yourself. Any discomfort, any tension you feel anywhere in the body, just let it be. कहीं कोई तनाव लग रही हो या असुविधा लग रही, उसको रहने दें. वे अपने आप ठीक हो जाएंगे. आप अपने आप में विश्राम करें. Take another deep breath in, breathe out. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. धीरे से शरीर और परिसर के प्रति सजग हो जाएं। मुस्कुराते मुस्कुराते एक और गहरी सांस लें और धीरे धीरे सांस छोड़ें और आंखें खोल सकते हो। Let us open your eyes gently.
अच्छा लगा सभी को प्रैक्टिस करके? हाँ, सभी लोग थम्स अप दिखा सकते हैं अगर अच्छा लगा तो। हाँ, शायद कई लोगों की सुबह की बची हुई नींद भी पूरी हो गई अभी। तो हम एक दिन प्रैक्टिस करते हैं फिर भूल जाते हैं। फायदा एक दिन में भी होता है, पर उसका योग का या किसी भी ऐसे अभ्यास का असर तभी शरीर और मन पर पता चलता है जब हम उसे प्रतिदिन करते हैं। आज कर लिया तो अब थोड़ा थोड़ा रोज कर सकते हैं। थैंक यू।
I request Vice Chancellor Sir to please come and give a bouquet. Come, better, and seek blessings. And give blessings. You can seek blessings. We have with us Madam, Mrs. Mukul Sharma Madam. She is also a doyen in naturopathy and yoga. A huge round of applause for joining us, Madam. Thank you. I request Rupalji and Maniji to please continue the session. We may say, Gaurav Bhaiya, that we are here 70-80 people. We now invite Sri Gaurav Verma ji, our Director Operations, Sri Sri University, to address the. He is a senior international Art of Living faculty. He has been associated with the organization for almost over 2 decades. He is an expert committee member with Ministry of Ayush. He has played a vital role in designing common yoga protocol, which is practiced all over the globe on International Day of Yoga. He has traveled far and wide to Europe, Middle East, New Zealand, Russia, South America, and many, many other countries to share the tools and knowledge of happy, healthy, and successful living. A student of science and teacher of spirituality is what he is. Gauravji, I request you to address the students who gathered here. We are about almost over 60 people here. Please.
Thank you, Rupal. Thank you to invite me to speak at this momentous occasion where we are approaching towards the International Day of Yoga. with this campaign, which is run by the Ministry of Ayush and MDNIY, this 100 days countdown campaign, where 100 days, 100 cities, and 100 organizations are involved. It is an immense pleasure to share with all of you that I have been part of this International Day of Yoga since it is conceptualized and initiated by Honorable Prime Minister in the year 2015. Another privilege and an honor with me is that I have been part of all 3-4 initial years program of Honorable Prime Minister, which was organized in New Delhi for the very first year when we initiated International Yoga Day, and then in the consecutive years for Lucknow, Dehradun, all these different places. So it is nice to see Sri University successfully organizing this event at Konark Temple with all our students and other partners, and practicing yoga protocol in the morning. I know that you all started early morning. That is what the yogi is all about, who is always full of energy, or who is always ready to participate, filled with enthusiasm, joy, cheer, to contribute with a sense of contribution. Yeah. Professor B.R. Sharma sir took this initiative after the request from Ministry and MDNIY that we should organize this event, though it is far from our university, but still I feel happy to see that it is happening successfully there with all of you. Now, we all have been practicing yoga. I am sure that those who are there, वो सब योगा तो करते ही हैं, तभी आप सब लोग वहां पर हैं. बट एक्चुअली हम योगा को समझते क्या हैं? एक सिंपल जब आप सुनते हो कि योगा, तो हमारे माइंड में यही आता है कि मे बी सम आसनास, फिजिकल प्रैक्टिस, राइट? I would like to share a short story with you. Yeah, are you all interested in listening, or I'm sure you all are interested. I would not take much of your time, but there is something interesting I would like to share with all of you, and I would like you all to pay the attention. Once a student of spirituality on this path, on the quest to find the purpose of life, came up with this question कि क्या स्पिरिट भी बॉडी के साथ खत्म हो जाती है? क्योंकि we haven't seen spirit ever, the soul which we talk about, क्या वो भी इस बॉडी के साथ खत्म हो जाती है? With this sincere quest, he approached his master, guru, and very humbly asked this question. So Guru, looking at the innocence of the question and the sincerity in the quest, give answers with a short illustration. The master mentions, like milk is there. What is the shelf life of milk? The shelf life of milk is not very long. It gets spoiled if you not preserve it properly. It gets spoiled in just one day. एक ही दिन में अगर आप देखेंगे तो दूध खराब हो जाता है, right? बट उसी दूध में थोड़ा सा बटर मिल्क अगर आप ऐड कर देते हैं तो क्या हो जाता है? It becomes curd, which can be preserved little longer. Yeah, it becomes curd. उसको आप ट्रांसफॉर्म करके यूटिलिटी बढ़ा दिया उसका, and you can use it even further. Now this curd churned further gets into butter. Yes. I'm not sure whether you have done it or not yourself. I can see lots of students there, but people like me have definitely done this. Those who are married, they must have done it for sure because of helping their spouse. So when you churn the curd further, you can bring it into butter, whose shelf life is even more than milk, right? Now, this butter also goes rancid after few days. वो भी बासा हो जाता है, कुछ दिन बाद इतना नहीं चल सकता है. But further, if you process this butter by melting, you can make this butter into ghee, and that ghee can be preserved for longer period of time. Yes, no. So what has happened? The milk, which could only be preserved for just 1 or 2 days, now you have produced butter out of it, which has a shelf life for years to come, right? In the same way, in this perishable body lies something which is imperishable, which is eternal. Yoga is something which helps us to connect with that something which is eternal. Yoga is not just a physical practice. Yoga is a way to connect with something which is eternal. Yeah. Soul, spirit, consciousness, Atma, Ruh, Chetna. There are different names of this something which we can't see. In fact, आप देखोगे what happens in your day-to-day life. You run short of energy, enthusiasm, joy. If you look like spirituality, जब हम बोलते हैं अध्यात्म, what is the definition of spirituality or अध्यात्म? अध्यात्म means आत्मा की गुणों की वृद्धि करना. The qualities which you were born with. Spirituality is enhancing the qualities of spirit. So what are the qualities of spirit? The qualities of spirit is enthusiasm, joy, belongingness, caring, sharing, confidence, clarity. Yeah. So yoga and spirituality helps us to retain and to sustain those qualities in our life. उसको बनाए रखने के लिए help करता है. And like as I shared this with you with an example, the illustration of the master, that spirit, when you connect with that spirit which is eternal, which is enormous, which is imperishable, so what happens? Your enthusiasm, your clarity, it remains forever because you are connected with the source. Like if you see, we have always heard that we are part of nature. We are part of all these elements: earth, water, air, fire, ether, all these elements. But if you look at the elements, you would find that they are always there, committed, without fail. If you see, sun is every day rising, doesn't say that today I'm tired, I would not rise, I'll take a break. Today is a holiday for me. Have you ever seen like that? No. Why? Because it's a source. In the same way, earth is always there. Doesn't say that, okay, I'll not carry people on my lap today. Today is a break day. Today is Sunday for me. No, it doesn't happen. Why? Because it's the source. It is natural. In the same way, when you connect with something in you which is most natural and the source, what happens? You realize that you gain the spirit which is undying, which is always there. You find yourself enthusiastic, you find yourself energetic, you find yourself healthy. If you see, look at this word health in Hindi, it is said swasth. Swasth is not just, swasthya is not just mere absence of diseases. Rather, swasth is connecting with oneself, established in oneself. That is being healthy. Swasth, established in oneself. So yoga helps us to get established in the source of our existence. And when we operate from that very zone of our life, life becomes altogether different. Life becomes enthusiasm, joy, and love, which we actually are. So now those who are participating in this event, this responsibility lies on your part as well, that you promote this culture of yoga. Like, every different culture, we accept the things from all different cultures in the world. Like if you talk about noodles, it comes from China and we enjoy eating noodles. If you talk about pizza, it comes from Italy and it is readily accepted now in all part of the world. In the same way, yoga needs to be taken to each and every corner of the world. And it is happening. We must take this responsibility to share this knowledge of yoga, our culture, which is to make one's healthy, happy, joyful, and connects to the source. So we must take this responsibility with this event and resolve to become an ambassador of yoga, or rather be a yogi, a step further, practice yoga every day, be a yogi, and share this beautiful knowledge with as many people as possible. With these few words, thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to share my thoughts with all of you there. And I once again congratulate each one of you for participating in this event. I congratulate our VC sir, Professor Sharma sir, Vijay Lakshmi madam, and the entire team, those who put their efforts, sincere efforts. Yesterday it was Gurudev's birthday celebrations. So we finished it late night, each one of you. It was a rest day sort of a thing for all of us. But still, they are there with the commitment to organize this event, and that too early in the morning. That is what the spirit of a yogi is all about. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Gaurav. Beautifully explained the depth of yoga with such simple examples. And you've inspired all of them to, reach out the message of yoga far and wide. Thank you very much for joining us and giving your time. Thank you. I now invite Honorable Okay. So we'll now have a quick Q&A session. If anybody has any questions, our sir would be more than happy to answer. Questions? Yes, please, ma'am.
We have learned that we have gut brain axis. So when the gut is not okay, when we have not good digestion, the mind is also not very thin. So how to improve gut health?
Jai Gurudev, Namaste to one and all. This is a very, very important question. They improve our digestion, in other words, what we can do. So first and foremost is, my answer will be more specific. So what we have to do, first and foremost is, we have to understand the importance of the food. Food plays a very, very important role in not only in shaping our personality, but also keeping us healthy. So, if you ask this question to the dietitian, Western dietitian, he will tell that this body works like a machine, and this machine needs fuel, and this fuel you are getting out of the food, water and air. This food, water and air get converted into energy, and that maintains the temperature of the body. This much. But if you dive a little deep into our own concept, say for example in Upanishadic literature, food is said to be Brahman. So first and foremost is to improve the health of our digestion, our gut. We have to change the mindset, number one. Our mindset should be changed. Food is said to be Brahman. And what is the Brahman? The source of all energy. So the mindset is to be changed, number one. Thereafter in Bhagavad Gita, beautifully it is said, Yukta Ahar, Yukta Vyavar, Yukta Cheshta, Yukta Swapna Vodasya Yogo Bhakti Dukkha. What is that Yukti Yukta Ahar? What is the appropriate diet? That is to be understood. If you ask this question to the Western person, he will say, see, this much carbohydrate, this much mineral, this much protein, this much that, and this balanced diet is to be provided. They do not care from where you are getting this protein or the other things. But this is a balanced diet. If you If you are traveling in the air, you know the food which is being provided to you, it is a balanced diet because they are bound to give you that kind of balanced diet. But from where they have extracted that protein and other things, they don't care for that. But here, in our case, as I said, what is yukti yukta? What is appropriate? There are 2-3 connotation in this regard. First and foremost is that we have to recognize our own, what you call prakriti, own prakriti. Prakriti means our constitution, in other words. So first and foremost is what is constitution is of, according to Ayurveda, it is a Vat prakriti, it is a Kapha prakriti, it is a what you call the Pitta prakriti, and sometimes it is a mixture of all these things. So it is a detail, but if we find that somewhere or other this Vat is more aggravated in my body, then we have to take all that food stuff which subsides the Vata. That we have to be careful. That is what our mindset, which I have talked earlier, our mindset will be that this food is not conducive to my constitution. Therefore, this food is to be avoided. So, what kind of food? So, the food which subsides the Vata and aggravate the other aspect, that food is most important. Similarly, this is a one part of it. This one yukti yukta, that is appropriate or what you call the conducive diet. And this helps a lot with the view to understand. Now, the second part, yukti yukta. It is said, it is not only that Vat prakriti or Pit prakriti. The most important part which I would like to share with you is how we are earning that food which we are consuming. Whether we have earned that food out of our hard working or the easy means. If you are earning your bread and butter with hard working, it will have a different impact on our constitution, on our mind. But if the food is earned with easy means, then it will have a different. That yukti is also very, very important. In Mahabharata, beautifully it is said, Ahar shuddhau sattva shuddhi. Ahar shuddhi, purity of food. It does not mean that you are following the hygienic, atmosphere, everything, you are cleaning the vegetable, this and that. But this is also very important, how you are earning the food. What are the methods, whether you are earning your bread and butter through the fall means or the fair means. This is a very, very important. So, ahar shuddhau, if your food is pure, your antakarna will be pure. And once your antakarna is pure, antakarna means man, buddhi and ahankar. In other words, you may say that it is a subtle body, in other words. So that will be purified. Once that is purified, then what happens to you? Your memory will be pertinent. Sattva shuddho, ahar shuddhi, sattva shuddho, dhruva smriti. Your memory means what? Yes, we were talking in the morning. Now you have heard from Mr. Gaurav that we have to develop that connection with ourselves. So that smriti, that pertinent memory will be there. There will not be any discontinuity on this thought. You will be able to understand. So you will be continuously, you will be connected with that thought. So your smriti will be pertinent. And once the smriti is pertinent, sarva granthinam vipramoksha, there will not be any conflict in your mind. There will not be any conflict in your constitution. Therefore, there is a need to keep all these things. Not a single practice can help us to improve our digestion system or our this, but all these things can help us to improve to a certain extent. I think that I have tried my level best to answer your question. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. You are an encyclopedia and we all know it. I now request others to ask questions.
So today is the chance to speak, ask something, no?
Yes, sir.
And I will try my level best. Because there is in such type of workshops in
Yogostav, sir.
there will be
So Swami Vivekananda suggested to have combination of path of yoga, like Gyan Yoga for intellect,
can you keep little more near to you?
Bhakti Yoga for heart, and for action, Karma Yoga, and for concentration, Raj Yoga or Ashtanga Yoga. Whereas his Guru Ramakrishna ji, he suggested that you respect to all path, but stick to one path. Like there are different ways to reach one destination. If you follow this road, how can you reach the destination? You stick to one path, like digging for water in the ground. You dig in one place, not there, in one place. So it looks little confusing. So can you advise on it?
It is a wonderful question. And to answer this question, we have to have the little background. all of us are endowed with three abilities. What is that? The cognitive ability, the affective, what you call there is a one Western, we are talking about taxonomy. The same Bloom, he is a Western psychologist, but at the same time he is a educationist also. What he says that if we want to achieve the goal of education, then we have to integrate the three faculties of human being simultaneously. What is that? Cognitive aspect of our personality, affective aspect of our personality, and psychomotor aspect of our personality. They used to call it behavior. Psychomotor behavior, cognitive behavior, and affective behavior. In our own terms, Indian terms, we used to call it Gyan, cognitive, Ichha, affective, and psychomotor is Kriya, karma. Beautifully, Yagnavalkya has said, Gyan janna bhaved Ichha. If you don't have the knowledge, there will not be any desire. Unless there is a desire, there will not be any kriya, action. So all these three, they go together. What Bloom says, we may develop one cognitive part. You may say that I am Brahman, but nothing is there in the action. No use of this knowledge, this cognitive power, isn't it? So we have to develop this integration. Now, whatever Paramahansa Ramakrishna ji has said, or other people have said, the purpose is to integrate these three together. Now let us understand this cognitive aspect of our personality. It can be refined with the help of Jnana Yoga. Let me give you one example. It can be refined with the help of Jnana Yoga. What is that Jnana Yoga? In the morning hour, Professor Reddy was talking about Nitya Anitya Vastu Vivek. What is eternal? What is non-eternal? If we develop this kind of understanding, then it means that if you are recognizing what is eternal, what is non-eternal, it means you are in the path. You are trying. So this part can be refined with the help of this Jnana Yoga. If you are emotion-oriented person, and if you upset yourself, your mood swings, it means that the emotions are imbalanced. with a view to maintain the balance in your emotions, then there's a Bhakti Yoga. What is that Bhakti Yoga? If you go through the Narad Bhakti Sutra, it says, Satvasmin Parma Prem Rupa. Unconditional love is Bhakti, nothing else. And second thing it says, Sarvada Sarva Bhavena Bhagavaneva Bhajaniya. Whatever the action, whatever the kriya, whatever the activity you are performing, you think that you are performing for the sake of God, not for yourself. Na ham karta, hari hi karta. Because this doership is the impurity. This doership becomes the cause of our all problems. And when you consider that it is happening because of this, and if, as Lord Krishna also in Bhagavad Gita, not a single time, several times, he has also said, Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraj. This is called Bhakti in other words. So you are balancing your emotion. Your emotion will not be disturbed if you have that kind of what you call understanding. Now, third one is Kriya, action. Action, the same. For yourself, because of your own selfish offshoots. In this regard, we have to understand little background. We can think, all of us can think. Everything is being provided to us by this Mother Nature. We are breathing at this moment, but we are not paying for it. We are getting sunlight, heat, everything, but we are not paying for it. Each and every particle of this universe is meant for others, but we individuals are meant only for ourselves. This is the big mistake. And therefore, when we are doing our activities for ourselves because of the selfish offshoots, this is called skama karma. And when you are doing something for the society or something different, then it is called nishkama karma. When you get established in this nishkamata, then it is a karma yoga in other words. But what Lord Krishna says in the second chapter, when he is talking about the sthit prajna, buddhi yukta. First you have to attach your intellect, your thinking to that. Buddhi yukta jahati hai, ubhe sukrit dushkrite. Ubhe sukrit dushkrite. Wherein he says, then this yoga becomes karmasu kaushalam. Then you will be perfect in your action. Then action will be perfect. But here I would like to know, unless we develop that synthesis of all these three, integration of these three, if you are emotion oriented, you can go with the path of bhakti, but that bhakti will not be appreciated unless it is supported by the jnana and by the karma, nishkamta. If it is not supported by these two, this bhakti will be no bhakti. If your karma is not supported by jnana and bhakti, you are not, if you are committed to something, but you are not disciplined to do that. What is the use of that, doing something, So the integration of all these three is nothing. In other words, is yoga. That helps us. Yesterday, I was talking with some university on the Shuddhi Kriyas. And I said that the process of yoga is nothing. It is not only the Shat Kriyas, but the whole process of yoga is nothing, but it is a Shuddhi Kriya. It refines all these three aspects of our personality. And thereby, we develop a kind of integration, and it helps us to keep connection with that self, what we call ourselves. Okay, so this is the answer. If you are emotional on it, you carry on, but jnana and karma should be there. They cannot be separated. So therefore it is said, whatever you think, that you should speak. And whatever you speak, that you should take to the action level. And if there is an integration, you will be successful wherever you are. So single path, it is only described at the initial stage, not at the advanced stage. There's no difference because everything there is a kind of integration. Automatically, it is integrated. So I have answered your question with this background. I think that I have justified. Anything else? Today is the time Gurudev has set on this, and everything will come out from him. So you are free to ask anything. Yes. Actually speaking, only our icon of the India, Vivekananda ji, has said this Raj Yoga. Patanjali Yoga is the Raj Yoga. None other than Vivekananda. He said Raj Yoga. Raj Yoga, we used to call it, in other words, Bhyangam path. Bhyangam means it is, you can, a royal path. Raj Yoga is a royal path. But this royal yoga, people understand that there are certain steps. There are no steps. I will give you one example and it will be clear. See, this Raj Yoga, in other words, is the Ashtanga Yoga. People used to call it. Ashtanga Yoga is Raj Yoga, according to Vivekananda, and now people are sporting that also. But this, if you go through the commentaries, I have gone through many commentaries, and most of the people, they have said that these are the steps, and I don't agree with them. It is a Bhyangam, it is a royal path, but to board on this path, you have some, what you call the eligibility. As you have to board in the aeroplane, you have a boarding pass. Without that boarding pass, you are not allowed to go, there is a security. It does not allow you to go inside. Similarly, you have to have certain eligibility, for that. Now just see, I will quote one sutra of Patanjali Yoga Sutra, and it will be clear to all of you. When Patanjali says in the 2nd chapter and 28th sutra, he says, Yoga Anga Anushtanat Ashuddhi Kshay Gyan Diptir Avivek Khyate. What does it mean? It says, Yoga Anga. These are the limbs. These are not the steps. How we can understand this Anushtan? Now here again, the students of yoga here are sitting. Remember, Patanjali, Maharishi Patanjali has used 2 terms in his Yoga Sutra. What is that? When he is talking about the Chitta Vritti Nirodha, he is talking about Abhyasa Vairagya Abhyam Tan Nirodha. He has used the word Abhyas. But when he is describing the 8-fold path of yoga, then he is avoiding the term Abhyasa and introducing the new term, that is Anushtan. Question automatically comes to the mind of the student. Why Patanjali is using the word Abhyasa here? He defining this Abhyasa. Tatra sthito yatno Abhyasa puna puna chetsi navishnam Vyasa says. Again and again you have to remind yourself that is what is Abhyasa. Means repeated effort. Now, and that effort should be done for a dirgha kal nairantarya satkara se bit. Dirgha kal, for a long period of time, continuity is to be maintained and your attitude should be receptive. Satkara se bit, asevit, satkara se, receptive attitude. Then only your abhyas will be firm grounded, otherwise not. Second time he is using the term abhyasa in the context of chit vikshepas, the hindrances, and wherein he says ek tattva abhyasa. But these are the two places where the term abhyas has been used by Maharishi Patanjali in his whole Yoga Sutra. Now here, when he is describing, if we accept that this whole Yoga Sutra is written by one author and that is Maharishi Patanjali, then how we can forget this? Now if you go to the commentaries, they have mistaken in understanding this word anushtana. And they say, any commentary, Sanskrit commentary, 17 Sanskrit commentaries are available. You go through all and you will find what they have translated. Yoganga Anushtanat, Yoganga Abhyasat. Now the naturally question comes, why Maharishi Patanjali has introduced a new term. Anushtan is a bigger term. Anushtan, Abhyas is a smaller term. When you are writing in Sutra style, it is said, Alpaksharam. It should be condensed. Asandigdam, there should not be any doubt. Sarvatmishto, as if the sutra style of writing is as if so comprehensive, as if the ocean is put in a pot. Then this type of what you call the writing, how Patanjali can use the bigger word in comparison to the smaller, Abhyas was available. So it means that something is in his mind and that is not understood properly by the commentators. So now here I would like to say the real answer comes to your question. And now let us compare this with the tree, yogic tree. I used to do this in my class also. So can you separate the roots of the tree from the leaves of the tree? Please give me answer. Can you separate? So the roots of this yogic tree are yamas and niyamas. If you are not following these two, which are said to be the universal codes or individual codes, code of conduct, you can say, if you are not following this, you are doing asana, it may not help to you. It may be up to the physical level. Therefore, if you want to grow this tree within you, then you have to water the roots first. This is what the roots, if you want to grow the this tree, then the roots are to be watered. Now, these roots are said to be yamas and niyamas. The stem part of this tree, with a view to give strength to this tree, asana and pranayam can be the stem part of this tree. The different branches of tree, we have different branches. You are getting inputs from the eyes, from the ears, from the skin, all the sensory inputs you are getting, different organs. These are the branches of this tree. With a view to withdraw from this all branches, that is called pratyahara. So the branches of this tree is nothing but the pratyahara. Now, the leaves of tree, every one of us have a different conviction about life. So the leaves is dharana. And on these leaves, there comes the flower, it is called dhyan. And on this flower, there comes the fruit, it is called samadhi. So the fruit and the roots, they cannot be separated. They are interconnected, interrelated. So this is the royal path of yoga. Unless we follow this properly, we may talk about dhyan, but it will be very, very difficult to reach that state of dhyan. Wherein Patanjali, what he says, Tatra, in that state of mind, what is that? pratyekatanata, uninterrupted flow of our consciousness is maintained for a long period of time. Wherein, what happens to thereafter? What happens? In the beginning, beautifully it is made clear, but if the question comes, then I can talk. Otherwise, I have answered your question. So this is the royal path. Yes. इसको माइक देना बिटिया को माइक.
So could you please tell about Tantra? What is Tantra?
Tantra? Okay.
Means, is it only bad or what is it?
No. There is a big presentation I am having on this, the essence of Tantras. I have a presentation. At this moment, it is very difficult. But Tantra is a technique. In other words, Yukti means technique. So Tantra is nothing, it is a technique. It is more effective. You are more specific for something. Okay? Therefore, it is called Tantra. Our Tantra literature is very vast literature. It is not only our Indian, the ancient literature, but if you call it, Buddha has also having his Tantra. Okay? So Tantra is a yukti, is a technique. It is a wonderful path, but there are certain misconceptions brought in somewhere or other. And unless we understand these misconceptions, we cannot understand the importance of this Tantra. So these are very, very important techniques. Have you heard about the, there are many, but even if I give you the example of 5 makaras, people have mistaken in understanding that. 5 makar. What is that? Anybody aware of this? I think then it will not be understandable to you. We'll talk on this. Madhya, Mas, Matsya, Methun, all these 5 are. See, in Khechari Mudra, what is Methun? It is misunderstood by the people. Okay? When you practice this Khechari Mudra, when you put your tongue in the nasopharyngeal cavity, the understanding is that there is a Chandramandal from where this nectar is oozing all the time. And you will be able to taste that nectar, you will be able to save that nectar. You will not allow that nectar to go down to the navel, and therefore, Viprit Karni Kriya, Viprit Karni, this mudra, Viprit Karni is asana also, but Viprit Karni mudra can help you to save that. So this is called Methun. The different understanding is given by the different people. So, there was a small, when I was a teenager, there was a Sarita magazine, Sarita. Have you heard this? In our time, there was a Sarita magazine. Wherein one person, Surendra Sharma, who was always, criticizing the certain Vedic mantra, something, So, such type of people, they have degraded these tantras to that extent. But tantras are the immediate result-oriented techniques. If you follow them properly, let me give you one example. If any one of you is having a migraine, and if someone is getting this migraine pain, you come to me, okay, and immediately there will be relief, because there is a tantric mantra, is a technique. If you apply this technique properly, but the person who is applying that technique, whether following the purity or not, that also depends. So therefore, certain eligibility criteria are there. If you follow this eligibility, if you If you have this eligibility, then you will be able to make use of these techniques, and these techniques are result-oriented techniques. Okay? Specific techniques. See, when we say Bhadrang Karne bhi, this is Vedic mantra. Bhadrang Karne bhi Shunyam he Deva, हम कानों से भद्र भद्र सुने, ऑस्पिशियस बातें ही सुने, कानों से सुने, आंखों से भी भद्र ही देखें, ऑस्पिशियस देखें. So it is a kind of what you call, it is a broad aspect, but these tantras are more result oriented techniques. Immediately you will be able to experience that. Okay? Pardon? Yes, you organize one lecture. Ask Dr. Dinesh ji to organize one lecture.
Yes.
Okay? And we can invite all the people. Essence of Tantra, that is the essence of Tantra. Anything else? Yes.
Yes, sir. So it is merely an observation, what I'm seeing. It is into my head. Like we have a very strong tendency, we all have a very strong tendency where नया चीज दो पल के लिए नया रहता है और फिर धीरे धीरे वो पुराना हो जाता है. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ अ चाइल्ड गॉट अ बाइसाइकिल, he will be happy for 5 days, 6 days, and then suddenly he will be using the bicycle, but that spark of the first day will not be there. So what I'm saying is that in contemporary spiritual world in these days, what we're doing, we're using spiritual techniques just like a trend, just like a fun to get the peace very temporarily, कि थोड़ा परेशानी हो रहा है तो बैठ जाओ and कुछ कर लेते हैं. So how to take youth and like today's generation people into...
I've understood your question. Thank you very much. If you think that that connection or that what you call the happiness, if you drive from the outside, it is not possible, because everything is transitory in this world. This parinam, beautifully in Patanjali Yoga Sutra, parinam tap samskar. When there is a change in everything, as you said, everything is changing. So this change gives you tap. Tap means pain. To overcome this pain, you do something. As you said, we are doing this or that. And it again generate the different kind of impressions in your mind. Okay? And that is deposited in your unconscious, subconscious thought. And then it becomes again. What is the reason of this all? Patanjali says, Gun Vritti Virodha. Gun Vritti, the person who understands that the mode of behavior of this threefold energy in this universe, according to Sankhya Yoga philosophy, what is that threefold energy? Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. So they are Anyanya Vibhava Janana Maithan Vrityasya Guna. All these are dominating each other. And because of that only, sometimes you become happy. And sometimes your mood is changed, you become sad. Sometimes you become sleepy. You feel sleepy sometimes. Why it is happening? It is only because of the change of the mode of behavior of this threefold energy. This is the fundamental is to be understood. What you can do is, if you think right from the childhood, when we are playing with the small toys, then this toys is not, it is not working now. Now the new toy, and you think that it will give you some little. So likewise we go. Now the alto, this card is not helping me. Now I can go for the other car, then the Mercedes, then the other car. But ultimately, everything of this universe material side is ultimately going to give you pain, and therefore Patanjali says, Sarvameva Dukkham Vivekana. Well, if you have this kind of understanding, then you should understand that the material world cannot give you that kind of peace, that cannot help you to reconnect yourself. Okay, cannot help. So what you have to do then? So if you only to overcome, सिर दुख रहा है इसलिए ये क्या कहते हैं उसको शीतली प्राणायाम कर लो तो सिर ठीक हो जाएगा. It will be a temporary what you call the benefit. If you really want, if anyone wants really that this ocean of peace and happiness is lying within ourselves, and that is your pure nature, you know, and that is what you were talking about. Swastha in your own swarupa. Swastha. You have to stay in swa, and your swa is changing. It is always there. It never changes. Everything of this universe is changing. Our body is changing. Everything is changing in this universe. But one phenomena that is called what you call spirit, what you call Chetna, Atma, what he was talking about. So that never changes. If we, with the help of certain techniques, but whatever the techniques are conducive to our temperament and our constitution, that is to be chosen and it is to be practiced, and you can unfold that ocean which is lying within you. Okay, this is the answer. Nothing can help you. It is a temporary relief to certain extent. Let me, and this is not all our ancient masters, they have given this idea while talking about the threefold suffering. They have about, you may fall sick, you may go to the doctor, and doctor can give you certain medicine and you will be all right. But doctor cannot give you guarantee that this problem will not be repeated again. On the basis of this, nothing can help us. Even this is the mental health also, not the physical. मानसिक दुख भी इसी तरह का है. You may want something, you may not get it, but sometimes you may get it, but you may not be able to possess it. Sometimes you may be able to possess, but you may not be able to enjoy it. You know, so nothing can help. So then they say, now on the basis of this, they say that yes, nothing can help you to overcome this threefold suffering permanently. Then how we can overcome? Only learn who am I. And they have given us the technology to actualize the who am I. It is your own opinion. You cannot make opinion about others. No. Your perception may be different. Your perception, it makes different. Your perception will be different, you know. Our perception will be different. Every one of us, we are coloring the object, my dear, as per our own background, our own memory. We are coloring the object, and therefore we are unable to see the object as it is. So no one else is responsible for that. It is our own perception. And if we refine this perception, everything belongs to that ultimate. That is also a kind of perception. Each and every particle of this universe belongs to that. Soham, Hamsa. That's all. Thank you very much.
हम कुछ बोल सकते हैं? आपकी अनुमति हो तो सभी को तो पहले मेरा नमस्कार, जय गुरुदेव। आपने बहुत सारे वक्ताओं को सुना और बहुत कुछ समझा। मैं तो संक्षिप्त में 2 शब्द यही कहना चाहूंगी कि व्यस्त रहो और मस्त रहो। जो जो आप कर रहे हैं, चाहे आप विद्यार्थी हैं, चाहे आप दूसरे क्रियाकलाप में व्यस्त हैं, चाहे कुछ दूसरी फील्ड में काम कर रहे हैं, जो भी काम कर रहे हैं उसको निष्ठा से करो, पूरी सच्ची भावना से करो, श्रद्धा से करो, आप सही बेनिफिट पालोगे। तो मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल देना चाहती हूँ कि एक बार की बात है, मैं अपने ऑफिस से आ रही थी और एक बच्चा भागता हुआ रोड पे जा रहा था, सड़क पे जा रहा था और वो गिर गया। गिरते गिरते उसकी आवाज उसकी माँ ने सुनी, जहाँ की एक कंस्ट्रक्शन का काम चला हुआ था, और वो भागते हुए आई, उसने बच्चे को उठाया और उसको जोर से थप्पड़ मारा। बच्चा और रोने लगा और उसके आंचल में सिमट गया। मैं उन दोनों की कसमसस को देखती रही और मन में एक थॉट आया। मेरे पास बैग था, उससे मैंने एक चॉकलेट निकाला और उस बच्चे को दे दिया। मैंने कहा, बेटा देखो ये चॉकलेट। उसके घुटने से खून बह रहा था, उसको वेदना तभी भी हो रही थी, पर उसका ध्यान वहां से हट करके उस चॉकलेट में चला गया, क्योंकि वो चॉकलेट उसको बहुत प्रिय थी। वो रोना उसका बंद हो गया। तो जब हम किसी बाह्य जगत से अपने ध्यान को हटाकर उस अंतःकरण आंतरिक जगत की ओर ले जाते हैं, वी कैन एंजॉय आवर होल लाइफ। हमारा शरीर पंच महाभूतों से बना है। जो पंच महाभूत हमारे अंदर काम कर रहे हैं, वो बाहर भी काम कर रहे हैं। जब हम उस नेचर के साथ रहते हैं, उस नेचर के साथ खाते हैं, पीते हैं, जीते हैं, नो बॉडी कैन गिव अस पेन एंड प्लेजर। वी आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल। हम अपने डॉक्टर खुद हैं। अगर हमारे अंदर वो इनर अवेयरनेस है, वी कैन एंजॉय आवर होल लाइफ। संक्षिप्त में यही कहना चाहूंगी कि सद्बुद्धि युक्त किया कर्म, सद्बुद्धि युक्त किया कर्म नहीं फल की अभिलाषा है, पूर्ण कुशलता से करना भाई मेरे हर एक कर्म, यही योग की परिभाषा है। Whatever you are doing, you do and enjoy. Thank you very much.
Yogostav, this is only possible. So this is a huge hit. A big round of applause to madam.
लास्ट में विद व्यू टू कंक्लूड दिस, और कुछ एक्टिविटी है?
We will just have, after your speech, we will have a photo session and then we'll.
Okay. So, to conclude this, I think that there were so many problems in the beginning, and but see, whatever is happening, it is happening because of the will of God. If we accept this statement in toto, then we can become stress-free. You might have observed when this was not working, and for the temporary, it was reflected on my face also, I was observing. And some of the students were also observing me, that when it is not connecting, so it was also reflecting on my face. So this label of anxiety or stress, if it continues for a long period of time, then it becomes distress. And because of that, we become a victim of various problems. But when we have this kind of understanding that everything is happening because of the will of God, ultimately, immediately you can release all anxiety, everything. So I, on behalf of these organizers and I would like to thank, first of all, to the director of Muradji Desai in his absentia. Only I called him once that you have given the chance to all the universities except us. He said that we have given this chance to Sri Sri School of Yoga. I said that is also our institution. Both the institutions are having a different entity. Therefore, we should also be given this chance. And accordingly, he understood. I have given a, what you call, the logic that see they are also organizing the YCB exam because they are independent, and we are also organizing a YCB exam here in Sri Sri University. So we should also be given chance, and we can organize such type of programs. Immediately he said yes, and you start working. Only 2-3 days back, Dr. Vijay Lakshmi Mohanty ji has rightly said, when she was talking, she was thanking to Mr. Malik ji for giving us this permission on 11th hours. So we were not well prepared. This place, if this program would have organized in our own institution, it would have a different impact. This is a new place for us, and we had to come yesterday. We all were busy with this Gurudev's birthday, with all other activities. All of us came in the morning. 2:30, I got up in the morning today because I don't go out without my own Nitya Karma. So you can understand. So whatever now we have to forget this, whatever has happened now. If someone says that, yeah, this was the problem or that was the problem. So for that, so whatever has happened, it has happened only because of the will of God. That's all. So leave all, Mr. Ashish, Mr. Rajiv, whatever, और हमारे वो दो कहाँ गए वो? हाँ, जैकर कहाँ है वो? मुझे लगता है कि वो सो गया जाकर के। तो ये सब जो हो गया, ये आप लोगों का एफर्ट है, और ये सारे का सारा क्रेडिट जो है वो आप लोगों को जाता है। मनी कल वहां भी बहुत बिजी थी, रात को 10-11 बजे तक कुछ लिखते जा रही थी, कुछ काम और भी थे, कुछ मैडम ने काम दिए थे, कुछ मैंने काम दिए थे। इन स्पाइट, एंड शी वाज नॉट फीलिंग वेल यस्टरडे, इन स्पाइट ऑफ दैट उसने बहुत मेहनत से किया। तो मैं सभी का हृदय से आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। हम सभी मिलकर के एक बात, जैसा मिसेस शर्मा, मैडम शर्मा जी ने कहा है कि जो कुछ भी करें उसे दक्षित होकर के करें और कुछ वैल्यू ऐड करने की कोशिश करें। यहां से कुछ शिक्षा हमको मिला, कुछ शिक्षा हमको मिली। कोई भी क्षण जीवन का हमारे आता है वो कुछ शिक्षा देके जाता है। आपको आश्चर्य होगा, यहाँ जितने भी ये इंतजाम किया गया है, चाहे वो यात्री निवास का इंतजाम हो, चाहे वो वहां का इंतजाम हो, ये सारे का सारा इंतजाम जो है, ये जयकर जी और हमारे डॉक्टर दिनेश जी, ये सब कुछ उनका किया हुआ। हम तो कुर्सी पे बैठ करके सिर्फ हुक्म जमाते रहते हैं। अल्टीमेटली तो करने कराने वाले ये लोग हैं। मैं तो ये जो कुछ भी, ये अच्छा हुआ तो भी और खराब हुआ तो भी, ये सब आपका ही क्रेडिट है, मेरा कोई क्रेडिट नहीं। डॉक्टर विजयलक्ष्मी मोहंती जी को मैंने कहा था कि मेरे पास तो टाइम नहीं है, आप इसको देख लीजिए। अगर आपको आश्चर्य होगा कि ये परमिशन मिलती नहीं, यहाँ अंदर कोणार्क टेम्पल के अंदर कुछ करने की परमिशन नहीं मिलती। तो ये सब जो है वो कनेक्शन बनाना, उन लोगों के साथ रेगुलर टच में रहना, ये सब श्रेय जो है उन्हीं का है। ये सब तो, और जिन बच्चों ने यहाँ एक तो स्किट उन्होंने शुरू में जो प्रेजेंट किया, इट वाज ए वंडरफुल थीम नंबर 1। और बाकी तो क्या है कि मैं उस ज्यादा पक्ष का नहीं हूँ, क्योंकि मैं कंपटीशन को मैं महत्व नहीं, योग में कंपटीशन नहीं होता, इसलिए मैं उसको ज्यादा महत्व नहीं देता। लेकिन फिर भी परंपरा आजकल है, उसे निभाते हैं हमारे बच्चे, तो बहुत ही अच्छा से आप लोगों ने भी किया है। और यहाँ के जितने भी, चाहे वो किचन में उन्होंने हमें भोजन परोसा, आपने नाश्ता किया, वो कुछ भी, वो सब क्रेडिट जो है वो मैडम को जाता है, क्योंकि उन्होंने जब ऑर्गेनाइज किया। और जिन लोगों ने हमारा ये सहयोग दिया है, यहाँ के अथॉरिटीज ने, उनका भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। मैं सुबह जो था, ये जो हमारे कैमरा मैन है, मैंने दिनेश जी से एक ही रिक्वेस्ट किया था, दिनेश जी जरा सुन के जाइए, मैंने एक ही रिक्वेस्ट किया था कि वो डायरेक्टर का ये कहना है कि ये प्रोफेशनल होना चाहिए, ये जो कैमरामैन जो है वो प्रोफेशनल होना चाहिए, क्योंकि हम इसका रिकॉर्ड बना रहे हैं, मीनाक्षी टेम्पल का, कोणार्क टेम्पल का, ये रिकॉर्ड बन रहा है हमारे लिए, तो इसलिए कोई प्रोफेशनल होना चाहिए। तो वो प्रोफेशनल है या नहीं है, उनका हृदय से धन्यवाद, वो आप जानिए। मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि केस होती है, अगर फोटो आपके आधे तेरे भी आए होंगे ना, तो वो भी कृपा से अच्छे हो जाएंगे और हम वो प्रेजेंट अच्छी तरह कर पाएंगे। और आशीष जी हमारे, और ये उसको जैसे से एडिट करके, और वो हम प्रेजेंटेबल फॉर्म में उधर दे पाएंगे। हाँ, देखिए उन्हें आपके सामने कमिट किया उन्होंने कि होगा वो सब अच्छा से। तो और सब मिला जुला करके कोई मुझसे अगर छूट गया हो, ये कल की बात है कि रूपल जी को और इनको कहा गया कि आपको एंकरिंग करना है वहां, हाँ कल कहा गया, रात में ही उन्होंने अपने हिसाब से जो कुछ भी करते थे, बिना किसी को दिखाए, बिना कुछ बुझाए, फुल कॉन्फिडेंस के साथ उन्होंने अपने आप को प्रेजेंट किया, और कैसा किया ये आपके सबके सामने है। उनके लिए एक और ये सुबह मैंने मैडम से पूछा, मैडम हमारे साथ थी, ममता वो बच्चों को लेके आ रही है, बच्चों को लेके आ रही है, एक तो नाम ही ममता है उसका, और बच्चों को लेके आ रही है, तो उसकी ममता की, बच्चों के प्रति जो ममता है वो वास्तव में सराहनीय है, वास्तव में सराहनीय। And this Saraniya word may not be understandable to you because you are not acquainted with. So it is a kind of appreciation, you know. It is worth appreciating. Thank you very much. आप बच्चों को भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। सुबह सुबह हमारे बराबरी में आप भी 3 साढ़े 3 बजे उठे होंगे। आज आपने सब वो क्या कहते हैं, तमोगुण को भगा दिया, रजोगुण का सहारा लिया। लेकिन अभी कुछ बच्चों की इच्छा है, हम जैसे जैसे समय बीत रहा है, कुछ बच्चों की इच्छा है। अभी देखो, एक मैं फार्मूला बता देता हूँ आपको सबको, कि जब भी तमोगुण हावी होने लगे तो रजोगुण का सहारा लेना, एक्टिविटी का सहारा लेना। लेकिन एक्टिविटी ऐसी नहीं होनी चाहिए कि अभी आप बीच पे जाने की सोच रहे हैं और वहां कुछ उधर ये सारा किया कराया कहीं पानी में न चला जाए, ये ध्यान में रखना है। तो हम लोग सभी लोग जो है वो एक चक्कर मार करके सब जगह जहां जहां आपकी इच्छा है वहां एक चक्कर मार करके जाएंगे, इसमें कोई दो राय नहीं। और ये सिर्फ आपका तो जैसा मैंने आपके शब्द का मान रखा है, तो अभी आप मेरे शब्द का मान रखेंगे कि पानी में कोई उतरेगा नहीं। सीधी सीधी बात, हाथ धो लीजिए, पांव धो लीजिए, लहर आएगी उसका हाथ धो लीजिए, पांव धो लीजिए और आगे बढ़िए। ठीक है सर, थैंक यू वेरी मच। अच्छा, गाड़ी को 5 बजे